Alright, so in this video we're going to talk about how to do an exit ticket that shows us how to use the different types of techniques with rubbing alcohol and permanent marker. So you're going to get a piece of paper that looks like this. It is the tag board. It has a dull side and a shiny side. So the first thing you want to make sure to do is to get your first name, last name, and period number, because you are going to turn this in for basically a quiz today, just I know how to do this type of quiz. Okay? So again, this is on the dull side. Alright, so on the shiny side, you're going to do 3 techniques. One of them is color, just one color, and creating a value with permanent marker and rubbing alcohol. The next one is textures, and the third one is mixing 2 colors together. The texture you can actually do before this one or after it, whichever you decide. So, first one, color with value, is we're simply going to start with a permanent marker color, and I'm just going to put it on one side. And again, this is meant to be pretty easy. You're just experimenting and figuring out how this works with the permanent marker. I will tell you, you do not need very much permanent marker because it goes a long ways. And so I'm going to start with this orange, and then you're getting 1 Q-tip today, and you have a tray that looks something like this that you're going to share with the other people at your table. So I'm going to go ahead and just dip it. You don't have to have this permanent marker drenched. I'm just going to dip it, and then I'm going to go over this permanent marker, but I may feel like, hey, I need to dip it again just to really liquefy the paint or the marker that turns into paint. So once you have it in kind of a fluid liquid form, I want you to drag it over about 2 inches to the point where it starts to turn almost white. And so it's getting lighter, but I'm going to go ahead and pick up a little bit more permanent marker, and I'm going to start on the end of this. And then again, I'm dragging it until it gets lighter and lighter. So we're creating what are called values. Okay? And that is the technique number 1. All right, technique number 2, like I said, you can do it before or after technique, or where you mix the 2 colors. And simply, I want you to experiment with using your Q-tip to make textures. You can do dots. You can do kind of like lines if you want, something like this. If you wanted to do zigzags, I mean, whatever you want to do, or if you want to do an assortment like I did there. So the third one, where you're mixing 2 colors, okay, we're going to actually just put 2 colors down. Now, I must tell you, you are not to actually put the permanent marker in rubbing alcohol. That is the way you're going to ruin the markers, and we just don't want to do that. So please make sure that you're not doing that. Now, I'm going to try 2 different colors. It doesn't have to be what you started with on the others. So I'm going to do the same thing by putting a color down. This one's getting a little dried out, but it still should do what I need it to do, which is basically turn it in paint. So I put the same amount as I did over here, but this time I'm going to put a second color right beside it. You can tell the difference between the 2 markers. This one went on just a little easier. Okay, so I have the other side of the Q-tip, which is going to work great because now I'm just going to dip it in the rubbing alcohol. And this time, I'm going to blend the 2 colors together. I have found personally it works for me to go in a circular direction, but you may decide to do something else. And again, my goal is to mix them to create a new color. And I do have kind of this blue-green color here on the end. I'd say that blue did not fade. There's still a line there, but that sometimes will happen. I could probably work it out if I keep doing this over and over. I'm starting to see that line disappear. I'm also going to go back and grab this green and just kind of drag it to make more of a blue-green. Now we're going to take about 5, maybe 10 minutes on this, but no more than that, because I want you to spend some time working on your cover design. For some of you, you may even say, well, I got this done, I've got my folder cover figured out, can I start on my folder cover? The answer is yes. because tomorrow I want you guys to actually start working, developing your folder cover in the permanent marker technique that I'm currently using. So anyway, I'm kind of fading this out. And there we go. I've got the two colors mixed. So when you get to this point where you have the number 1, the number 2, the number 3, you're going to put this aside, let it dry, and then at the end of class, I will be picking this up. It is your exit ticket out of here today. So that is it.